His face was pale and gaunt when he knocked on her cabin door. The local police chief looked like he hadn't slept in days, just like her. It had been 2 years since the nightmare ended, but the fear hadn't left her. When the officers barged into her home with weapons drawn, she knew something had gone horribly wrong. "Miss Harper, I need you to come with me," the chief said, voice raw. "There's been another murder." Her heart sank. How many now? 3, maybe 4? The memories of the previous murders rushed back. She had never truly healed from them. She had isolated herself in that cabin, unable to move on. The pain was too deep, the fear too real. The chief, seeing the conflict in her eyes, pleaded for her help. They needed someone who knew the woods, someone who understood what had happened before. That person was her. When they arrived at the crime scene, Harper froze. Her elderly neighbor, Mr. Clayton, lay dead on his porch, a clean bullet hole in his forehead. But something wasn't right. She noticed a pattern. All the murders happened under a full moon, and tonight's moon was nearly full again. Could it really be starting over? She didn't want to get involved, but the chief insisted. She was the only one who had been close to the previous crimes. The memories returned like a flood. The first victim had been Brittany Taylor, a well-liked girl from the local high school. After her death, the town became quiet and secretive. No one spoke to Harper anymore. No one comforted her. The second victim was Mrs. Clayton, a kind woman Harper barely knew. Harper had seen a shadowy figure running through the woods that night, but when she told the police, they dismissed her. Eventually, they caught a drifter who confessed to both murders, claimed he had met Brittany in a bar and killed her when she resisted his advances. Then, by chance, he had seen Mrs. Clayton and murdered her too. But the story never made sense to Harper. The woods were massive. How could he have done it without being seen? She always felt someone else was involved, someone still watching. Now, with a new murder, fear gripped her once more. Harper remembered an old story her grandmother told her about a man who lived deep in the woods, using herbs and poisons. Could the killer be following the same path? She rushed home to search her grandmother's journals. There she found a list of deadly plants. Nightshade, hemlock, foxglove. All of them grew near her cabin. She was starting to see a terrifying connection. Returning to Mr. Clayton's house, Harper found proof traces of crushed, deadly nightshade in the flower bed. Foxglove and other poisonous plants grew nearby. She realized the killer had likely used these plants to poison his victims. If he gathered them under moonlight, he would strike again when the moon was high. She looked outside. The full moon would rise in less than an hour. Grabbing her rifle, Harper ran into the woods. Her heart pounded as she pushed through the underbrush. Then movement. Snap of a twig. She raised her rifle, ready to confront whoever was there. Out from the shadows stumbled the drifter, the man who had confessed 2 years ago. Clutching his chest, he whispered, "Help me." Then he collapsed. Single deadly nightshade flower protruded from his shirt. He was dead, but why? Who had killed him? The chief arrived moments later, breathless. "We thought he might be the killer," he said. Harper nodded wearily, believing it was over at last. As sirens wailed in the distance, she felt a fragile sense of peace. But when she returned home, everything had been torn apart. Her belongings were scattered, and a footprint marked the floor by the back door. Looking out the window, Harper's breath caught. In the distance, the drifter's cabin stood cold and dark. He hadn't been living alone. Someone else had been there. Someone who might have helped him all along. The nightmare wasn't over. It had just begun.